to me. We had always been strangers, two women at odds because we were unrooted.
A brood is a scar of a two-woman poem. A two-woman poem is beyond form. A two-woman poem was when I sat at my mother's bed, beside a beeping machine, and some fluid dripping into her veins.
We had lost our language to one that filled every room with its knot. So we blamed ourselves for the knot. So we projected the fault back onto the people before us.
My mother's scars are a two-woman poem, which is beyond form, around and through her breasts. In my language, language and tongue are the same word.
In our language, the word to speak is the same as the word to carry. To me,
we had always been strangers. Let me root into your two-woman poem. Let me stick my language into your thighs, to eat at the language of a two-woman poem, to lick at the mosaic of soft scars and hard scars on your back. The scar girls are collected in a two-woman poem, queuing up to get their Girl Scout song.
In exile, we experiment with how to carry several tons, those unstable, sprouting things, hidden but revealed where our bodies meet their edges.
I once went on a date with a two-woman poem. His name was Jacob.
He used to bark at me in his language, said father's, mother's, sister, cousin of her uncle. He used to bark at me and expect me to understand. We wanted a better life. We left behind our language.
And I was 16. In his town, Jacob asked me by the pool, "Do you not mind the white scars on your thighs, and being Girl Scout all over? In a scarred nation, do you not mind the white scars on your thighs, and being incarnated all over?"
Everywhere we find the vestiges of our language. We went to another country, and our language was there, refracted in street signs with different spellings, as if we had always been strangers.
A woman who was incarnated was the tongue of a two-woman poem, and the scar poem was the language of a scar god, who ate and scarred gods and charred gods, and asked gods for help. He wouldn't speak to a two-woman poem.
Gods of pale webs, gods of sour yellow light coming down in ribbons, gods of blue flame at the lip of the thinnest chimney, gods of all the strangers, and gods of the smell of gas blowing over the houses. For in our language, the word for God is the same as the word for work, and the work calls us like a bell.
My mother now wears a wig that doesn't match her hair. In my two-woman poem, I would tear off my hair to make a wig. To girl scar me,
We learn to speak carefully.
to boy scar me,
We learn to play dumb.
to all scar me,
We learn to play dead.
and the scar sky,
We learn to knot our tongues.
to plant linear scars across this, to plant linear scars across the nation is.
In that other country where we grew walnuts, we lived between two languages, not our own. Behind the two languages were two more languages. Behind the two more languages was a posited original language, chipped from a time of monuments before our tongues were tied, but still recognizable.
Another scar, open her flaps, and go scuba skying like many before. Go dive, eat tongues beyond the form. Eat.
In our language, the word for to eat is the same as to wonder.
Eat language roasted with some pork. In Scar Nation, when we speak in a two-woman poem.
A time before the coal in our lungs, grit in our mouths, before our language became very small and quiet, a small bone chewed to somehow restore us to our wonder.
And I'll feed you scar girls, and you will eat until you were the two-woman poem, which was beyond form.
We had always been strangers.
You ate child children for another chance to be.